He's seen every movie, he's totally groovy. Just sit back and hit play. Cut! Here's Chuck the Movie Guy.
What happens when you take the brother and sister from Divergent, put them in a love story? It's not the feel-good story of the year. It's The Fault of Our Stars, one of the most popular books out right now. It's Hot Topic. Joining me to discuss this movie and review it from Toronto, Canada, my good buddy, Box Office Bonnie. Bonnie Laufer, Krebs. Hey, Bonnie, how's it going?
Everything's great.
How was the opera?
The opera was fine. Everything's good. You like my new do?
I do like the do. I'm so sorry. All right, we got to talk about this. This was did you read the book?
I did read the book, and I have to say that when I was reading the book, I think there was about 18 boxes of Kleenex next to me that were completely used up. So when I saw the movie, I went in very prepared. But
Okay. Since you read the book and you saw the movie,
Yeah.
I also saw the movie. Why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown, a quick synopsis of what happened on screen?
Okay, so basically this story is based on the book, as we mentioned, The Fault in Our Stars, written by John Green. Very, very popular young adult book. It just flew off the shelves. It hit a chord with a lot of people when it was released a couple years ago. And basically it's about two young teenagers, one who's 16. Her name is Hazel Grace. She has cancer. She's had it since she was about 4 years old, and she walks around. Her lungs keep filling up with fluid, and she has to walk around with an oxygen tank. And then there's the other protagonist, and his name is Augustus Waters, and he is a year or so older than her, 17, 18, and he also has cancer. Now, they meet up in a support group, and she just keeps fighting her parents, doesn't want to go to the support group, but her parents are very encouraging, and they're like, you're going to meet people and just go. And one day, Augustus is there, and he's good looking, he's very charismatic. We find out that he's just there to kind of support his other friend who has cancer, but he has also had cancer, but he had his leg amputated, but he thinks he's completely cancer-free. Everything's good, and he's just a good influence on the group and feels good. So they hook up. They kind of, she's standoffish because she knows that she's not going to live forever, and she doesn't want to even have any type of relationship with anybody. But slowly but surely, he's so charming and such a good guy, they end up falling in love. And they base the relationship in the beginning. There's a book that she reads, and she just reads it over and over and over. She's just obsessed with this book and this writer, and she gets Gus to read the book, and he connects with it as well. So that's just kind of the synopsis of what's going on here.
Right. Now, obviously, these two cats fall in love, and
they do.
You get to see their relationship. I have to tell you, I cry at commercials. I cry. Like, I've seen the Avengers 87 times, and it makes me cry every single time. Everything makes me cry. My wife makes fun of me constantly. I did not cry at this movie.
Not one bit?
Nope. Not one iota. And I think I can tell you why. Augustus, I didn't like him. He was...
Oh, my God. I love those two together.
He was too happy. I didn't like the happiness that was going on there. I was like...
But he had to get it through his head that he wanted to beat cancer, and I thought that was his strong point. Oh, we have to mention who's starring in this film. We have Hazel Grace, played, of course, as you said right in the beginning, but Shailene Woodley is Hazel.
She was amazing. She was amazing.
She's amazing. Oh my God, this girl can do no wrong. She is so talented. She bears no makeup in this movie. She just looks amazing anyway, even though, she's sick with cancer and everything, but she just has this effervescent glow thing about her. She's just such a great actress. And then Ansel Elgort, who we mentioned, of course, plays her brother in Divergent.
Right.
He plays Augustus, and I have to say, I just like their chemistry. I thought that they were so good together. My heart was breaking for both of them.
Well, I would like to put out there before people start sending me death threats and hate mail and everything. I went through this cancer thing. I lived with somebody for 10 years, and she did not make it, and it was not pretty, and I didn't think I was going to be able to handle this movie, but I don't know what and there's been other movies that have been, the things have happened, and I always get emotional on it, but I didn't like it. Willem Dafoe, I thought, was a really good bad guy in this movie.
He was. Yeah.
At the end, I don't want to give away, but I didn't understand why it didn't make any sense to me with his whole character sum up there at the end. But
yeah, well, we don't want to give that away. We don't want to give anything. He plays the author, by the way. And what happens is there's a couple of funny moments too. Like, even though there's a lot of sadness, there's some funny bits too. And Augustus, makes fun of Hazel because he says, they have this thing called the genie, which is like the Wish Foundation thing.
Yeah,
what's your make a wish? And she picked Disney World, and he keeps teasing her because Disney World.
Funny.
Yeah, she goes, Disney World. Why would you pick that?
Yeah,
and she goes, I was 13. I had a great time. Like, where else would you pick? So he had saved up his wish, and all she wanted to do was meet this author and ask him questions about the book that she was so obsessed with. Turns out that the author, played by Willem Dafoe, lives in Amsterdam. So he gets the Make-A-Wish Foundation type things to send them to Amsterdam.
Moral of the story, don't ever meet your heroes, because you and I both know, Bonnie, more times than we care to admit, that doesn't always work out for the best. So.
Absolutely. How many movie stars or whatever have we interviewed, and then you sit down and you're so excited, and oh my God, your bubble is so
like, what jerk? Or they
not so much give you nothing, just jerks, really jerks. You find out who you're true. Yeah, it's so true. That's such a good statement. Yeah. So I don't know, but I don't agree with you. I like their chemistry. I totally got past the fact that they're brother and sister in Divergent.
Yeah, that didn't bother me at all, because I was straining to remember him in Divergent, and I remember it, but it's like, it didn't bother me one bit. I thought she was phenomenal. I love Laura Dern, who, in my case, can do no wrong. That woman is amazing. I liked her, and even Sam from True Blood. The dad, I forget his name, but he's Sam from True Blood. Yeah. But he played her dad there. I liked what was going on there. The story just didn't do it. It was filmed in my lovely town of Pittsburgh. I didn't know if you knew that. Yeah, I did know that, and pretty amazing. And plus, they did go to Amsterdam to shoot the scenes there. I have to say, there's a really poignant part in the book that they covered very well in the film. Is when they go to the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam, and that was cool.
Very moving.
That was that was a tough scene, and I really felt for her character there during that, and I feel like I don't even want to go to the Anne Frank house now, to tell you the truth. But
no, the Anne Frank houses, I've been there, and it's quite a moving experience, no matter what. I mean, it really, But to watch this character that Shailene plays, who has to walk up all the stairs to get to the attic, and she's got this tank of air, and she can barely breathe, but she's so determined to get up there. And it was, I was like holding my breath with her, as I was watching that, like, make it to the top, make it to the, but like I said, she can do no wrong. She is so good. I just can't wait to see where her career goes.
Oh yeah, granted, she's amazingly talented, and she did an amazing job in this film. I just didn't care for the movie. It just didn't move me. Yeah, I mean, so I'm totally on the opposite end of this scale for you. So, Bonnie, out of 10 tissues, how many do you give this movie?
Out of 10 tissues, 10. I'd give it about an 8. I'd give it an 8.
8, huh?
8 tissues.
Yeah, I'm only going to have to give it 5, even Steven.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know whether I was too close to it, and it just, but you would think that would, give it more for me. Like I said, great performances. Storyline just didn't do it for me, and I was watching the crowd, too. The crowd was having the same response as you did, and I think some people even applauded at the end of the movie. And I did not read the book, so I wasn't emotionally attached to the story as maybe you were. But I say maybe this is just a chick flick. So maybe it's just women like it more than men. I don't know. I'm just trying to guess why me, the ultimate chick flick, the guy who loves all the chick flicks, didn't like this film.
Well, I have to say, I brought my husband with me, and he also read the book, and he really liked it too. So so there you go, right? And he was a bit emotional as well. But we both weren't as emotional as we thought we were going to be. Like, I'm telling you, I was prepared. I had a purse full of Kleenex, and I used a couple. There was just a few scenes that got me, but I was really in the mood for a good heaving cry, and that didn't happen. So, there you go, right? But I don't know. I think I liked it more because of the acting. I really did. I thought that the two of them were really good, and it carried it through for me that way.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Bonnie says run out and see it and bring some tissues.
Yeah,
and I say stay home. If go go see Edge of Tomorrow if you're a guy. Right? Or, hey, honey, I'll meet you I'm going to see Edge of Tomorrow. We'll meet at the end of the movie. So, but
yeah, you hang out with Tom Cruise, and I'll hang out with the young teens. Okay.
There you go. All right, Bonnie. Thank you as always.
Okay.
It's always a pleasure, and I look forward to our next review.
Yep. See you next week.